In the last video, we discussed reason in its use, and I just wanted to review a couple things. One, let me go back to the handout here. One is that reason is used to form concepts, judgments, and arguments. And we talked about concept formation and concepts being connected to meaning, and that meaning is more basic than truth. This we'll call the critical use of reason. Reason is used as a test for meaning as the critical use of reason, and we'll use it to test our assumptions, our philosophical assumptions. We also talked about reason is used to construct a coherent world and life view. We'll call this the constructive use of reason, where we're starting from foundation and building a coherent world and life view. And I also talked about how I drew pictures of that on the board in class. So what I want to do now is give you an illustration of what that house looks like, and that could be a diagram that we use and refer to throughout the study. So let's look at that diagram. All right, so I'm going to draw how I would do it in class. I start with the ground upon which the house we're going to draw stands. Then I draw the foundation of the house, resting on the ground. And then we build the structure of the house, walls, roof. And in this house, there's a window. And I put a person looking out the window. That person is you. All right, now, what does all of this mean? When we talk about presuppositional thinking, we'll talk about this level, more basic, is like ground level. And up here is less basic. Okay, so we can say the ground is prior to the foundation, is prior to the house. Okay, so when I say more basic, I'm talking about things coming prior to. All right, now, in philosophy, we talk about three main areas. This ground level is where logic is. This is part of epistemology. Epistemology is the area of philosophy that deals with questions about knowledge. How do we know? So let's put that here. How do I know? That's logic. We are dealing with epistemology in this study. But once we've answered that question, we want to know basic truths. That's going to be this next level, metaphysics. Metaphysics is the area of philosophy that addresses questions about reality. It asks the question, what is real or eternal? Okay, and this is where we ask questions about what is human nature like. All right, questions about what is real, what is a human belong to metaphysics. Once we've answered that question, which is a big question, we can start to use reason constructively. So we use reason critically to test our assumptions here. How have I answered this question? What is real? Have I given proof for it? That's the critical use of reason. Then we use reason to construct a coherent world and life view. Now, part of this is our ethics. And ethics is the area of philosophy that answers the question, what ought I to do? Also, what is the good life? In this area, we have our values and our attitudes, our politics. This is where we use reason constructively. We want to make sure all the parts of the system fit together. Now notice I've drawn a person in the house. This person is using reason interpretively. Remember, reason is used to interpret our world and life view, and reason is used to give meaning to all of our experiences. So let's pretend this is our experiences, and these are sensory experiences, all of life experiences coming to us, and it comes to us through this filter of our world and life view, and our metaphysics, and our epistemology. And what do we do with it? We use reason to give meaning to our experience. So we use reason to interpret or give meaning to our experience. So this is the house that I use in class. I draw a lot of pictures in class, stick figures. I would like to use this as a sample throughout the study. So remember, more basic comes first, then less basic. And in philosophy, epistemology is logically prior to metaphysics. Metaphysics is logically prior to ethics. Okay? And so when we talked about the presuppositional method, this is one application, and this is going to be part of philosophy applied to ourself, which we'll talk about in the next section when we talk about how reason is an aspect of human nature. We as human beings do have experiences, and we do use reason to interpret them. So let's talk about reason in us as an aspect of human nature next.